Have you ever met someone and felt an unexplainable familiarity, as if their presence was known to your soul long before your eyes ever saw them? Or perhaps you've crossed paths with someone whose presence was like a storm, disruptive, uncomfortable, and yet oddly transformative. These aren't accidents. In the eyes of Buddhist wisdom, they're not mere coincidences, but echoes of something deeper. Every person who enters your life, whether gently like a spring breeze or sharply like a sudden gust, is part of your unfolding story, placed there not by chance, but by karmic design. Their presence is not random. Their impact is not without purpose. They arrive as mirrors, as messengers, as teachers in disguise. It might sound poetic, but this idea carries a profound spiritual truth. Life, according to Buddhist philosophy, is a woven tapestry of causes and conditions, threads of connection that stretch across time, space, and even lifetimes. The people who walk into your life, even for a fleeting moment, are part of that tapestry. Some enter to show you love, others to test your limits. Some come to offer warmth, others to press on your wounds. But all of them, yes, even the ones who leave you hurting, serve the sacred function of revealing something about yourself that needs to be seen. This isn't a story of blame or destiny carved in stone. It's a call to look at life through a lens of deeper meaning, of awareness, of awakening. Imagine for a moment your life as a river. Along its banks are countless travelers, some who walk beside you for a stretch, some who drift in for just a moment, and others who dive in, causing ripples that reach far into your soul. Each encounter stirs the waters differently, but the river doesn't resist. It flows, it learns, it deepens. That is what our relationships do for us. They stir, they challenge, they soften, they sharpen. And above all, they help us flow toward understanding. Buddhist teachings don't view these interactions as distractions or detours. They are the path itself. Relationships aren't peripheral to your spiritual growth. They are the fertile ground where growth takes root. When someone evokes love in you, you learn about your capacity to open. When someone causes pain, you meet your attachments, your fears, your unmet wounds. When someone supports you unconditionally, you're invited to trust. And when someone betrays you, you're given the chance to forgive. Not for them, but to free yourself. This is not easy. Growth never is. But within the discomfort, there is insight. Within the pain, a lesson. And within the loss, a space that only truth can fill. Each person becomes a doorway, not just into their world, but into your own. A doorway into the depths of your reactions, your expectations, your beliefs about love, worth, and safety. And when we meet these people with mindfulness rather than judgment, we open that doorway wide enough for transformation to walk through. There is something powerful in realizing that nothing is random, that the person who tested your patience wasn't there to punish you, but to show you how strong your patience could become. That the one who abandoned you wasn't proof of your unworthiness, but a mirror reflecting where your self-worth was waiting to be remembered. Suddenly, life stops being something that just happens to you and becomes something that unfolds for you. Every smile, every silence, every goodbye, it all becomes sacred. Let's look at it through a more personal lens. Imagine you're going about your daily life and you encounter someone who instantly feels like home. There's no logic to it, no history, just a strange sense of recognition. According to Buddhist wisdom, this is not your imagination. It's karma echoing across lifetimes. You may have known this soul before. Your connection now may be a continuation of something unresolved or something beautifully remembered, and the emotions it stirs are part of that karmic unraveling. Or perhaps you find yourself in a relationship that triggers deep discomfort, one that challenges you, pushes you, even breaks you open. It's easy to fall into the trap of blame or resentment. But what if that very discomfort is the medicine your soul has been asking for? What if their presence is the catalyst for the healing you've avoided? What if they are not here to wound you, but to awaken you? When we shift from, why is this happening to me, to what is this teaching me, everything changes. You're no longer the victim of your relationships. You're the student. And life in all its messiness and unpredictability becomes your greatest teacher. You begin to see that your interactions are feedback, reflections, opportunities for mindfulness in motion. There is an old Buddhist parable of a man who cursed the thorn bush for cutting his skin every time he walked past. He spent years angry, blaming the thorn bush, wishing it would vanish. But one day an old monk told him, "The thorn does not hate you. It simply reveals where you have not learned to walk with awareness." That's what people do. They reveal where you are still asleep, still reactive, still wounded. And if you approach them with awareness instead of resistance, they become your guides, not enemies. This awareness doesn't mean you accept poor behavior or stay in harmful relationships. Quite the opposite. It means you recognize their lesson and then honor yourself enough to grow beyond it. Some people come into your life to wake you up, but they are not meant to stay. Others stay and evolve with you. And then there are those whose brief presence plants seeds that will bloom much later. Even the smallest interactions, like a smile from a stranger or a kind word on a hard day, carry meaning. They remind you of your shared humanity, of the interconnectedness that Buddhism so often emphasizes. They ground you in the present and remind you that you are not alone. So the next time you feel the sting of disappointment, the ache of longing, or the joy of deep connection, pause, breathe. Ask yourself not, "Why is this person in my life?" but "What is this person showing me about myself?" That question alone is the beginning of wisdom, because in the reflection of every relationship lies the path back to your own heart. This is not just philosophy. This is the truth we live every day. And as we journey deeper into this understanding, it becomes clear that the people in our lives aren't just passing characters. They are sacred catalysts, sacred mirrors, sacred reminders that we are here not just to love others, but to awaken through them. There's a sacred stillness that comes over you when you realize that life doesn't throw random people your way. It weaves them into your path like threads in a cosmic design. Some of these threads are golden, soft, radiant, comforting. Others are coarse and tangled, difficult to hold without getting hurt. But all are part of the same tapestry. And when you begin to view the people in your life not as accidents, but as karmic messengers, your entire perception shifts. You begin to listen differently. You begin to look more deeply. You begin to understand that each person is helping you evolve into who you were always meant to be. There's a concept in Buddhism that speaks to this beautifully: karma. Often misunderstood as fate or punishment, karma is neither cruel nor blind. It is the simple, unshakable law of cause and effect. Every thought, every word, every action you've taken leaves an imprint. These imprints ripple through time, shaping not only your own life, but the lives you are bound to meet. This means that your relationships, those that feel like home and those that feel like fire, are all born from seeds planted long before. Have you ever felt a magnetic pull towards someone without understanding why? Or found yourself in a connection that, despite your efforts, seems locked in a repeating loop of pain or misunderstanding? These are karmic echoes. They are not punishments, they are opportunities. Opportunities to resolve, to rise, to heal. You might be finishing a lesson you left undone in another chapter of your existence, or perhaps you're beginning a new one, planting seeds of compassion, forgiveness, or strength for lives yet to come. Consider Irene's story. Years ago, overwhelmed by her own emotional turmoil, she turned away from a friend who needed her, ghosted her, disappeared without explanation. The guilt buried itself in her subconscious, never fully addressed. Years later, in a different city, Irene found herself on the receiving end of that very pain. Someone she deeply cared about suddenly grew distant, unreachable. At first it felt cruel, confusing, but as she sat in stillness, a realization bloomed. This wasn't random. It was karma circling back, not as revenge, but as a mirror. Irene saw the pain she once caused reflected in her own heart, and it awakened a desire to heal. She reached out to the friend she had ghosted years ago, apologized, listened, reconnected. And in that moment, she wasn't just making amends, she was evolving. Karma was never about punishment, it was about awakening. This is how relationships work on a spiritual level. They show us what we've forgotten, They press on the places that are still tender, still bruised, still unhealed, and they offer us the chance to respond differently, to break cycles, to dissolve the patterns that keep us stuck, not by changing others, but by transforming the way we see, the way we respond, the way we choose to love. But it's not always the ones who hurt us who hold the most potent lessons. Sometimes it's the people who love us purely, effortlessly, who teach us the deepest truths. They show us how to receive, how to soften, how to trust again. They hold up a mirror not to our wounds, but to our worth. And yet these relationships can also stir discomfort, because sometimes receiving love when you don't believe you deserve it is harder than enduring pain. But even that discomfort is a teacher. It asks you to expand your capacity to be loved. There's also beauty in the fleeting. A stranger who offers you unexpected kindness. A short-lived friendship that carries more meaning than years-long relationships. These moments may seem small, but in the karmic realm, they are immense. They are checkpoints on your soul's journey. Proof that the universe hasn't forgotten you. That grace can arrive even in the middle of chaos. This is why presence is so important. When you meet someone, whether for a moment or for a lifetime, be present, fully. Not just physically, but with your heart, your awareness. Because that connection, however brief, might carry more spiritual weight than you can comprehend in that moment. And if you miss it, if you are distracted or closed off, you may miss the very lesson your soul is ready to receive. Presence also gives you clarity. It helps you discern who is here to stay and who is here to stir. Who is here to walk beside you and who is here to test your footing. It doesn't make the journey easier, but it makes it more meaningful. You begin to meet each person not with expectation, but with curiosity. Not asking, will they love me? But rather, what truth do they bring into my life? From this perspective, your entire history begins to look different. The heartbreaks, the betrayals, the missed connections, they stop being marks of failure. They become stepping stones, sacred echoes of your soul's unfolding. You may never fully understand why someone had to leave or why someone had to hurt you, but in time, you begin to feel the gift buried in the grief, the clarity that rose from the confusion, the strength that was born from the collapse. And the most powerful part? You realize that you've also been that teacher for others. You've walked into someone's life as a mirror, as a lesson, as a chance to awaken. Maybe your kindness helped someone believe in good again. Maybe your silence forced someone to confront their own behavior. Maybe your love, or even your absence, became the turning point in someone else's journey. You are not just a receiver of karma. You are a vessel through which it flows. So let your relationships break you open, but not down. Let them stretch your heart, but not shatter it. Let them be uncomfortable, but not unkind. And above all, let them guide you, not away from yourself, but deeper into who you really are. Because in the end, no one enters your life by chance. They come bearing truth. They come bearing mirrors. They come bearing sacred keys that unlock doors within you that you didn't even know existed. And when you open those doors, you do not just become wiser. You become more whole, more awake, more you. There's something humbling in realizing that your life story isn't written solely by your own hand, but by every soul that has touched yours. Each person leaves behind fingerprints, some soft, some deep, some barely visible, and yet all shaping who you become. Buddhist wisdom teaches us that our growth is not an isolated journey, but one that is in constant communion with others. This understanding transforms the way we engage with people. We begin to see that even in conflict, even in confusion, something sacred is at play. Take Jack, for example, a man who worked in an office that always felt heavy, not because of the workload, but because of his relationship with his boss. The constant criticism, the cold responses, the subtle put-downs, it felt personal. For a long time, Jack internalized it. He questioned his worth, his talent, even his ability to stand tall in a room. But something shifted the day he began meditating regularly. Stillness made space for insight. Through mindfulness, Jack started to trace the emotional threads that this relationship pulled on, and he discovered something unexpected. The criticism from his boss mirrored the same judgment he received as a child from a demanding father. It wasn't about his boss, it was about an old wound that had never been given permission to heal. This realization didn't change the external situation overnight, but it changed Jack. He began to respond rather than react. He stopped taking the words so personally. He learned to speak his truth with steadiness rather than with fear. Slowly, the relationship began to soften, not because his boss changed, but because Jack did. That is the heart of Buddhist insight. The outer world is often just a reflection of the inner one. When you see your relationships through this lens, even the people who challenge you become sacred allies. They are not just obstacles to your peace. They are catalysts for your growth. They show you the places in yourself that still need attention, healing, or transformation. And they offer you the chance again and again to show up differently, to choose presence over reaction, compassion over defense, wisdom over ego. We often imagine spiritual growth as a solo pursuit, a retreat to the mountains, long hours of meditation, silent contemplation. But real awakening happens in the everyday, in the kitchen when tempers flare, in traffic when impatience boils, in arguments that reveal deeper truths, in quiet conversations that unexpectedly open your heart. Enlightenment isn't about escaping the world. It's about showing up in it fully, with awareness, with honesty, with love. Relationships are not interruptions on your path. They are your path. Every connection, every conversation, every conflict is the curriculum your soul signed up for. And when you stop resisting the lessons, you begin to transform, not just intellectually, but emotionally, spiritually, and energetically. It's also important to remember that not all teachers come in comfortable packaging. Some arrive cloaked in chaos, others in betrayal, and some in deep silence. But they all carry a message, a lesson, a mirror. Your job is not to hold on to everyone. It's to listen to what they came to show you and to let go when the time comes. Letting go doesn't mean erasing the connection. It means honoring it. It means saying, thank you for your part in my story. Thank you for the lesson. I release you with love. There's incredible power in that kind of release. It frees you from bitterness. It allows you to carry the wisdom without the wound. There's a story of a Buddhist monk who once said, when someone strikes you with a stick, you do not get angry at the stick. You look to the hand that holds it, and even then you do not blame the hand. You seek to understand the suffering that moves it. This is compassion. This is depth. It's not about excusing harm. It's about seeing beyond it. Because when you can look beyond someone's actions and see the pain, the fear, the story underneath, it's then that true understanding begins. And in that understanding, your heart expands. But just as you learn from others, you must also remember that others are learning from you. You are someone's teacher right now, in your silence, in your kindness, in your absence, in your truth. You may never know the impact you've had on someone, the seed you've planted, the light you've sparked, but it matters. It always matters. Even in your mistakes, you are teaching. You're showing others what imperfection looks like, what humility looks like, what trying again looks like. You don't have to be perfect to be a teacher. You just have to be honest, to be present, to keep growing. Because the way you show up in relationships, especially the hard ones, is the way you show up for yourself. Forgiveness plays a vital role in this journey, not just forgiveness of others, but of yourself. There will be moments when you wish you had said less or said more, when you stayed too long or left too soon, when you reacted from fear instead of responding with love. It's okay. That's part of being human. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is evolution. And that evolution is often messy. Relationships bring up old wounds. They stir forgotten grief. They push buttons you didn't know you had. But every emotional trigger is an invitation, a doorway. You can slam it shut in defensiveness, or you can walk through it in awareness. And on the other side, you find more of yourself, more truth, more light. You are not here to get every relationship right. You're here to learn, to grow, to become. And sometimes it's the relationships that hurt the most that push you into the most powerful version of yourself. Not because they broke you, but because they broke you open. So if you're walking through a season where your connections feel confusing, painful, or incomplete, pause, breathe. Remember that even in this, something sacred is unfolding. You are not lost. You are learning. You are not abandoned. You are awakening. Every person in your life is a page in your soul's unfolding story. Some pages are joyful, some are painful, but all are sacred. And when you begin to read your story with that reverence, you stop judging it. You start loving it. You start loving yourself. Because at the heart of every relationship is not just another person, it's your own soul calling you home. Think back to a moment when someone truly saw you. Not just your smile, your surface, or your achievements, but the part of you that felt uncertain, cracked, or quietly aching. Maybe it was a friend who listened without needing to fix you. Maybe it was a stranger who offered kindness when you least expected it. These moments stay with us not because they were loud or dramatic, but because they made us feel connected, real, and held. This is the power of presence. And in Buddhism, presence is the foundation of all meaningful connection. When we meet another person with full awareness, with eyes that don't look through, but into, we give them something rare, the space to be seen, to be. And that presence is a gift that doesn't require years or titles or declarations. It only requires you to show up with your heart open, your mind quiet, and your spirit willing to witness what is. In a world where people are often rushed, distracted, or emotionally unavailable, the ability to be truly present with someone is an act of compassion. It doesn't mean you always have the right words. It means you offer your full attention, you listen, you see without judgment, you feel without defensiveness. And in doing so, you create a space where healing can happen, not just for the other, but for yourself. Buddhist teachings remind us that presence is not something we do, it's something we become. It is cultivated through mindfulness, through breath, through a deep honoring of the moment. And the beauty of it is this: the more present you become with others, the more you start to notice your own emotions, your own reactivity, your own patterns. Every relationship becomes a mirror, and every mirror becomes a moment to meet yourself more truthfully. Forgiveness flows from this place of presence, because when you're truly aware, you begin to see the suffering behind the anger, the fear beneath the aggression, the longing beneath the silence. You no longer see people as just their actions. You see them as beings on their own path, carrying their own pain, shaped by their own past. And suddenly, it's not about who was right or who was wrong. It's about who is willing to be free. Forgiveness doesn't always mean reconciliation. It doesn't always mean things go back to the way they were. Sometimes forgiveness means releasing your grip on what could have been and accepting what is. It means letting go not for them, but for you. Because you deserve peace. You deserve rest. You deserve a heart unburdened by resentment. There is profound strength in letting go, not as an escape, but as a return. A return to your own energy. A return to your truth. A return to the present moment where life is no longer tethered to the past, but open to what is yet to come. And what is yet to come depends so much on how you treat yourself. Because often the person you struggle most to forgive is you. The things you said, the love you gave too freely, the times you stayed when you knew better, the anger you let spill out, the apology you never voiced. All of it lingers inside you like stones in your pockets, weighing you down. But the truth is, you're allowed to be human. You're allowed to get it wrong. You're allowed to grow messy. Compassion begins when you stop punishing yourself for not knowing then what you know now. When you start to talk to yourself the way you would a child learning to walk. Gently, patiently, with encouragement instead of criticism. You won't walk every path perfectly. You won't read every sign correctly. But you will keep walking, and that is enough. There's a Buddhist parable that speaks of a monk who carried a woman across a river, though monks were not supposed to touch women. Hours later, another monk confronted him, saying, "Why did you do that? You broke your vow." The first monk replied, "I left her at the riverbank. Why are you still carrying her?" This is what we do with so many of our relationships. We carry the weight long after the moment has passed. We carry guilt, shame, what ifs, and regrets like stones in our heart. But the river has long since flowed. The moment is gone. All that remains is your choice, to keep carrying it or to put it down. And when you do put it down, something miraculous happens. You make space for new connections, space for deeper love, space for healing. You become lighter, more open, more available, not just to others, but to yourself. Because the truth is, every person who has walked through your life has shaped you, but only you decide what shape you take moving forward. You can become bitter, or you can become wiser. You can become closed, or you can become clear. It's not about what happened. It's about what you do with what happened. And in that space, something sacred begins, a remembering that you are not here to fix everyone. You are not here to carry everyone. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to evolve. You are here to awaken. You are here to love, not blindly, not endlessly, but wisely. To love with discernment, to love with boundaries, to love with truth. And that kind of love, clear, compassionate, conscious, is the most powerful force there is. It doesn't demand, it doesn't control, it doesn't grasp, it simply sees. And in that seeing, it sets both souls free. So today, if you're holding on to someone who's no longer walking beside you, breathe. If you're judging yourself for a relationship that ended in pain, pause. If you're tangled in a connection that confuses you, come back to the present. Come back to your breath. Come back to your heart. Because no one enters your life by chance, and no one leaves without a lesson. When you begin to trust that, you stop chasing. You stop clinging. You start listening. You start loving in a way that doesn't lose yourself. And slowly, you become the kind of presence that others never forget. A quiet strength, a gentle mirror, a light on their path. Imagine standing in front of a mirror, not the kind that reflects your face, but the kind that shows your soul. Now imagine that each person who enters your life holds up that mirror for you in a different way. Some show you your light, others your shadows. Some reflect your strength, others trigger your fears. But all of them, without exception, are revealing something you need to see. This is the profound gift of relationships, and in the eyes of Buddhist wisdom, it's why no one enters your life by chance. We often categorize people as good or bad, helpful or toxic, worthy or unworthy. But Buddhism invites us to go deeper than those surface judgments. It asks us not to label, but to learn, not to attach, but to awaken. And the path to awakening, more often than not, is paved through human connection. Take someone who frustrates you deeply, someone who seems to misunderstand you, challenge you, or make you feel small. It's easy to wish them away or to armor your heart against them. But what if you paused and asked, what are they here to show me? Maybe they're calling out your need for validation. Maybe they're pushing against your boundary so you can finally learn to set one. Maybe they're triggering your anger so you can see the part of you that still longs to be heard. None of this justifies poor behavior, but it does reveal the sacred opportunity within it. Buddhism teaches that every moment can be a teacher if we meet it with presence. And every person can be a mirror if we're willing to look. But looking inward takes courage, because you'll find parts of yourself you've buried, patterns you've repeated, wounds you've denied. And sometimes it's the people we resist the most who are helping us uncover the parts of ourselves we most need to heal. There's a quiet power in recognizing that even the most difficult relationship in your life might be your greatest teacher. You don't have to accept abuse. You don't have to tolerate what harms you, but you can use every experience to grow, to rise, to soften, to become more of who you truly are. And while difficult relationships teach resilience, the gentle ones teach us something just as vital: how to receive. There's a softness in allowing someone to love you without condition, in letting them see your imperfections and staying anyway, in being known without having to perform or pretend. These are the moments that remind you are worthy, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. These kinds of relationships often catch us off guard. They arrive quietly without grand entrances or loud declarations. But they stay, they hold, they witness. And in their presence, you begin to feel safe enough to lay down your armor and just breathe. You stop proving, you stop pleasing, you start being, and that's when the true healing begins. Love in its truest form doesn't fix you. It reminds you that you were never broken. It doesn't rescue you. It reflects the light that was always inside you. And that kind of love isn't always romantic. Sometimes it comes from a friend, sometimes from a teacher, sometimes from a stranger whose words touch something deep in your spirit. These are the soul connections that don't always last forever, but they change you forever. And that's the gift. In Buddhist philosophy, this kind of connection is seen as part of the karmic web, not random, not accidental, but earned. Called forth by your energy, your path, your soul's longing to grow. Some of these bonds come to complete unfinished lessons from lifetimes before. Others arrive to initiate brand new awakenings. You don't always recognize their purpose at first, but with time, with silence, with reflection, you begin to understand. Even endings carry wisdom. The pain of goodbye, of separation, of betrayal. These aren't signs that something went wrong. They are signs that something has run its course, that its purpose has been served, that its season has changed. And the more you cling, the more you suffer. But when you let go with grace, you honor what was without resisting what is. There's a tenderness in letting go that we often overlook. We imagine it as hard, cold, distant. But in truth, letting go is a sacred act of love. It says, I honor the role you played. I release you with gratitude. I choose peace over possession, freedom over fear. And that kind of letting go doesn't create emptiness. It creates space. Space for new lessons, new connections, new beginnings. Buddhism encourages us to hold everything with open palms, people, moments, emotions. Not because they don't matter, but because we know they're not ours to keep. Clinging creates suffering. Surrender creates freedom. And in that freedom, we discover something profound. We don't lose love by letting go. We become love by letting go. We often believe we must hold tightly to the ones we love, fearing they'll slip away. But real love doesn't bind. It blesses, it trusts, it expands. When you love someone without needing to possess them, you offer them the greatest gift, your presence, not your control. And when you are loved that way, you feel it. It's a love that liberates rather than limits, that invites rather than insists. But before we can love others this way, we must first love ourselves. That's the foundation of all connection. The relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. If you're harsh with yourself, you'll attract people who mirror that harshness. If you abandon your own needs, you'll find people who take without giving. If you believe you're unworthy, you'll tolerate what you don't deserve. Self-love isn't just bubble baths and positive affirmations. It's the brave work of boundaries, of honesty, of saying no when your soul whispers you should, of walking away even when your heart wants to stay. It's showing up for yourself on the days you feel unlovable. It's not giving up on your growth. It's forgiving yourself again and again until the wound becomes wisdom. No one enters your life by chance, and no one teaches you more than the ones who see you fully and love you anyway. But you must first be that for yourself, your own safe place, your own mirror, your own home. Because when you are rooted in self-awareness, when you are grounded in your own worth, you don't chase connection, you attract it. You don't beg for love, you become it. You don't fear loss, you trust the unfolding. And that is the most beautiful kind of relationship of all, the one that begins within. There comes a moment, sometimes in the quiet of reflection, sometimes in the roar of heartbreak, when you finally begin to understand that life has never been random. Every connection you've made, every soul who crossed your path, whether they stayed for a fleeting moment or lingered for years, was never an accident. Each encounter was a lesson, each relationship a mirror, and every experience, no matter how joyful or painful, was guiding you home, to yourself. You see, when Buddhist wisdom tells us that no one enters your life by chance, it's not just poetic. It's a profound reminder that life is intricately woven with meaning, with karma, and with purpose. People are not just companions along your journey. They are the journey. Some arrive to pour love into your spirit like sunlight through a cracked window. Others come to shatter illusions, to force you to face what you've avoided, to dig into the wounds you've hidden beneath smiles. But all of them are sacred. And that sacredness doesn't come from how long they stayed or how kind they were. It comes from how they stirred your soul, how they made you feel, how they challenged you to grow. Sometimes we become so fixated on what we wanted people to be that we miss what they came to teach. We carry the burden of, why didn't they love me better? Or why did they hurt me? But through the lens of awareness, we realize it's not about them being perfect. It's about us being present to what they reflect within us. The one who left? They taught you resilience. The one who betrayed you? They pushed you toward truth. The one who couldn't love you the way you deserved? They reminded you to love yourself more fiercely. These aren't just stories of suffering. They're stories of awakening. Because without those moments of pain, you might never have discovered your own strength. Without those shadows, you might never have realized your own light. Relationships are the great spiritual classrooms. And like any true teaching, they aren't always easy to absorb. Some shake you, some break you. But if you lean in with compassion and curiosity, they always remake you. You begin to see that forgiveness is not weakness, it's power. It's choosing your peace over your pain. It's unshackling yourself from the past so you can walk freely into the future. And not just forgiveness for others, but for yourself too. Forgive yourself for not knowing then what you know now, for staying too long, for walking away too soon, for the words you wish you said and the ones you wish you didn't. You were learning, you were evolving, you were becoming. And that's the beauty of it all. You're still becoming, even now. With every breath, you're unfolding into a deeper version of yourself. One shaped not just by the people who loved you, but also by those who didn't. Not just by the relationships that bloomed, but by the ones that fell apart. Every ending has carved space for something new. Every loss has humbled your heart. Every joy has opened it wider. And every person, no matter how brief their role, helped you write the story of who you are. It's easy to think that meaning only comes from lasting love or lifelong companionship. But some of the most transformative relationships are brief flashes, like comets burning bright across your sky. They don't stay, but they light up everything while they're here. They arrive with purpose, and they leave with grace. Their presence is the reminder, their absence, the lesson. So now when someone enters your life, don't rush to label them. Don't demand permanence from what's meant to be passing. Just be present, feel it fully, love with depth, let go with peace. Whether they're here to stay or just to guide you across one bridge in your journey, honor them. And when it's time to part, bless them. Remember, your life is a sacred web of karmic threads, each one connecting you to a deeper truth. The more you approach each connection with awareness, the more you begin to live, not on the surface, but from your soul. You start to recognize love not as possession, but as presence, not as attachment, but as expansion. You stop needing people to fill your emptiness. Instead, you allow them to mirror the fullness already within you. And perhaps most importantly, you realize that even when no one is physically beside you, you are never truly alone. Because every relationship you've had, every soul that's touched yours, lives inside you now, as memories, as lessons, as echoes. And as you continue walking forward, wiser and softer, you carry them with you, not as burdens, but as blessings. So if you're wondering why someone came into your life, maybe the question isn't why. Maybe the real question is, what am I meant to learn? And once you answer that, everything begins to make sense. Because from this moment forward, you understand. No one enters your life by chance.